So a while ago, many of you might have remembered when I said that I wanted to do a bit of a Q&A video, so that way you guys can get to know me better as I get to know you guys through things like comments and then like our live streams. We kind of converse things, but we've never really done anything on the YouTube side here for you guys to be able to get to know me on a more personal level. So when we hit 3,000 subscribers, I said that we're going to hold a bit of a Q&A. I'm going to make a Q&A video and have you guys ask questions and put it out. However, life got in the way. We're now at like almost 3,700 subscribers or something, and it's been a little while. Life got in the way. A lot of things happened. I've been ultra busy, but now it's quarter after 2 a.m. on a early Friday morning now, and I have time to just kind of kill right now. So we're gonna record this Q&A. Let's do this. And I don't have a script for this. I just have kind of notes, and I have a list of questions from you guys. First question is from Roland Chaplin. He says, congrats on all the success you're achieving. You deserve every ounce of it. Question, if you could go back in time to the first day you streamed, what advice would you tell that version of yourself? Roland, we go way back. Thank you for hanging out with me all this time. First day I streamed, what advice would you tell that version of yourself? Dude, this is gonna be corny. But man, just have fun. It's so easy to get caught up on numbers and analytics when it comes to content creation, because obviously numbers, analytics, the analytical side of things are something that you can kind of learn a lot from. You learn, your peak points, your low points, things you're doing right, things you're doing wrong. And that's like the basis of every channel out there. And so it gets very easy to get caught up in that and caught up in the moment and not really taking in what you're doing yourself as a creator. So don't focus on playing the popular games if you're not really into them. Don't focus on just being the crazy hype man if you're not naturally the crazy hype man. Don't act if you're not good at acting. Just be you, have a good time, play the games you want to play, just have fun. Next question is from Raykilla. If you have to pick two genres of video games and one platform to stream, which would they be? Okay, so the two genres of video games, for me, really easy. Role-playing games and first-person shooters. Role-playing games specifically so I can have that lore and story-driven gameplay, often having that turn-based combat, a little more strategy involved in everything, a little bit of using the brain instead of just kind of run and gun. And then of course, I like FPS games. I do have a competitive itch every so often, so I like to get out there and just try my best to win games against other players in multiplayer shooters. As far as one platform to stream, I don't know what you mean by platform. If you mean like gaming platform, then it's easily PC, just because that offers me the most options across the board. We have everything, from Steam to Epic Games to Origin and Ubisoft's platform and the Blizzard launcher, all sorts of different platforms with all sorts of unique games on them. Not to mention the indie market on Steam is absolutely massive, and I'm a big indie game fan. So if you're asking platform to stream as far as games go, that would be it. If you're asking which social media website platform to stream, things like Twitch and YouTube, that's a complicated answer. If I were to start right now from scratch right now, it would 100% be YouTube, but that's just because I have a larger understanding of what YouTube is now compared to what I did even a year ago. When you have an understanding of YouTube, how to make thumbnails, how to properly title and tag your videos, and how to actually market yourself better as a YouTuber, I said that weird, as a YouTuber, YouTube just makes more sense because it offers you the algorithms that you can take advantage of and put yourself in front of more eyeballs, which is important. But if you're just getting started and you just want the experience of streaming and want to get yourself out there as quickly as possible, then Twitch. And this isn't an insult to Twitch as a platform, but Twitch is like the lazy man's version of just streaming. You just starting the stream, getting yourself out there instantly. You don't have to put a whole lot of work in aside from the stream itself. So that's my answer. If I were to start from scratch right now, it would be YouTube, but I understand why a lot of people still default to Twitch just because it's easier to get started. All right, our next question is from Genis Games. Hi, Jen. What has been the most difficult thing to overcome being a full-time streamer, and what is your advice to those who want to grow a community? Oh boy. Oh boy. So for me, the most difficult thing has been work and life balance. As soon as anything even slightly goes well with what I do, even in the slightest bit, if something just starts to stick a tiny bit, I start to see a littlest bit of success, I full send it. This isn't something that's just with streaming. If I see something that I'm passionate about is working, then I go for it. I used to play a lot of hockey in middle and high school, for example. I was pretty good. Not to brag, but I was a pretty good hockey player, and I recognized that early on in middle school. Like I knew how to skate. I learned how to skate really quickly. I was able to, basically do everything you could do on skates within a couple weeks. I could handle a stick very well. I was good at scoring goals. I could put it in the net very easily. And so I just full sent it. I kept practicing and practicing. I was working out a lot and just constantly practicing. And now I apply that to streaming and making YouTube videos where my videos aren't the best here on YouTube, but I'm getting better at it as time goes on. And once a video starts to get into the triple-digit views, or even on the crazy times we get into the 4-digit views, I just okay, we got to keep going. We got to do it again and again and again and again and again. But with all that, I forget very basic things in life. I forget to eat food. I forget to drink water. I forget to say hello to other human beings that do exist in the space around me. Life gets put on hold because I'm finding success in something. And so work-life balance, it's a thing, and it's so hard for me. So my advice on growing a community is simple. The other part of your question here, Jen, is just be you. You'll attract like-minded people who are into the same experiences as you. As the saying goes, build it and they will come. As long as you are passionate about what you do, as long as you are not putting up a front, being someone that you're not, and then making it obvious that you're being someone you're not. It's one thing if you're someone like Dr. Disrespect, right? If you're a really good actor and you can maintain that status for 8+ hours in a single stream, then do it. More power to you. But the reality is most humans are not good at acting. Most humans are not good at lying. Just be you. There's definitely like-minded people out there. They'll find you if you keep it up. As long as you are passionate about what you do, they'll find their way to you. All right, our next question is from Stride. Do you play any musical instruments? I do not. In 4th grade, I joined band in elementary school to learn how to play the alto saxophone, and that lasted for a whole week. I learned that, going back to Jen's question where I talked about if I'm finding any type of success in something, or I realize I'm okay at it, at least a little bit okay at it, I full send it. I found that I am not musically inclined, and so I lost interest very quickly. I do have a keyboard that I intended to teach myself how to play over time, but I never got around to that either. That's something that I still have. It sits out ready to use, and I just haven't actually taught myself yet. So as far as playing any musical instruments, that's a big no. I'm not very musically inclined. I've never found myself to be good at it. As much as I do have an interest in music, I'm a big metalhead. I love heavy stuff. I really enjoy it. One of my favorite bands, for example, is Gojira. I like Trivium, Ginger, and a whole plethora of other metal bands in general, but I'm not very musically inclined on my own performance side. Okay, our next question is from Cynic with 3 N's. With the job so potentially frustrating, what keeps you motivated to keep up the content at the level that you do? All right, Cynic. So the best thing, man, is you just always have to remember that video games are meant to be fun. Video games are a form of entertainment. If you're playing a video game and you're not having a good time with it, then you're just wasting your time. The entire premise of a video game is hobbyism, entertainment. Just even at the very base level, if you don't find it entertaining, it does kill time, pass time, so to speak. So that is something. There are times where I can be really disappointed with certain games, like Battlefield 2042 recently. That one really hurt because I'm a big Battlefield franchise fan personally. But when a game doesn't work out, yeah, I don't get mad at it. I don't get frustrated because it's meant to be fun. And if I'm not finding it fun, I just move on to the next thing. I don't waste time with things that I don't enjoy doing. For content creation, for example, making this video right now, I find this fun. I used to hate the idea of making YouTube videos even just a couple years ago, but now I guess streaming full time for a while has kind of changed my perspective on that. I'm a lot more used to it. I'm more into it now. I can find the fun in it, and I have fun with it. All right, our next question is from, well, his name is Simeon, but he likes it when I call him Simon because I pronounced his Simon like an idiot the first time. But all the same, he says, first things first, congratulations. I hope the channel community grow even more. Thank you, dude. And for the question, do you have a most favorite game, one that will always have a special place in your heart, and which game is it if you do? Also, what made you start streaming, making YouTube videos? How did you decide that? That's from me. I hope other people are more creative with their questions. No, this is an important question. This is something that a lot of people that watch me here on YouTube probably don't know. And if you do watch me over on Twitch, you might not know this as well. This isn't exactly something that we talk about every day. There's a lot of games I do like for different reasons, but I always default to Mass Effect 2. I'll be honest with you, the first time I played the Mass Effect franchise with Mass Effect 1, I didn't like it very much. But then years later, I gave it another go just before the release of Mass Effect 2 because it was just always talked about how great Mass Effect 1 was, and I just really couldn't vibe with it the first time. So I played it again, and within a couple hours of actually giving it a go, I was much more into it that time. I hooked right into it, and then I enjoyed it so much that I pre-ordered Mass Effect 2. I went to a midnight release at GameStop. I picked up a copy of the game, went straight home, and stayed up for like 2 days straight playing it nonstop. Lots of energy drinks involved, you know, lack of sleep, all that stuff, but I played so much of that game so quickly. Specifically, I enjoy RPGs, but even though Mass Effect 2 is light on RPG elements, I love the lore that the game offered. Mass Effect 1 did a really great job offering lore, and so did 2. But the big thing is as well, is they created attachment to characters. They had all those loyalty missions and all that dialogue with so many characters. You help them get through their personal struggles to allow them to become more attached to your character, Shepard. And that's just something that you, at that level, you don't see in a lot of video games. And that was something that really stuck with me. And I still appreciate that still to this day. I said still in twice in one sentence. I'm good at English. Anyway, Mass Effect 2 would be my answer for that one. As far as what made me start streaming and making YouTube videos, I used to watch a lot of streams back in the Justin TV days. Justin TV, if you do not know, is what became Twitch TV after a while. I used to watch a lot of things back then. I just wanted to try it out myself after a while. There is a deeper reason as to why. A lot of it is mental health related. I don't want to really get into that right now, but just know that I had a lot of massive depression and anxiety issues, and I was just looking for a way to kind of get through that. I tried different things, and I just kind of found my way into streaming eventually with the support of my wife. She's the one that actually gave me the final nudge to get out there and do it. And so, you know, here we are 5 years later doing this thing, and then, you know, I just started up making YouTube channel, you know, working on my YouTube channel recently in the last 9-ish months, and I've just kind of grown to enjoy it, and so here we are. All right, our next question is from Adam. He asks, have you played the State of Decay series, and if so, do you like them, and will you do a video series on them? Adam, I did play the first State of Decay on the Xbox 360 arcade. I remember when that game came out, I was really into it. I enjoyed it. I loved the idea of base building as well as exploring and getting resources to keep the base building going. However, I never played the second one. The second one came out at a point where I was really burnt out of zombie games. I used to play a lot of games like Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 and a plethora of other zombie games, even tabletop RPGs. All Flesh Must Be Eaten. That's a tabletop RPG, a very light D&D-esque game, but enjoyable all the same. As far as making a video series on them, I do prioritize newer games, as I have a massive love of all sorts of video games. Maybe in the future at some point, we could do a bit of, not retro, but going back in time and playing games that I missed out on. There are some things that I would like to do that with as well, because I never finished Dragon Age Inquisition. As much as I love Dragon Age, I still haven't finished that game. That's something that's high on my checklist, but maybe at some point in the future, you know, when we have more time, when, you know, the new game season slows down. All right, this next one is from the Medlo. Hi, Medlo. What game was that game that pulled you into the world of gaming? This one is very easy for me. It's Pokemon Red. I still remember the day that I played it. I was in 3rd grade. I had my report card, and it was also right around my birthday. My grandma was there, and she had a present for me for my birthday. But first she asked to see my report card, and it was all straight A's. I was good in school, right up until high school anyway. I opened up the Christmas gift. She was very excited about my grades. Or not my Christmas gift, my birthday gift, apologies. My birthday gift, and it was Pokemon Red. And at that time, I had no idea what Pokemon was. I had already been playing video games quite often at that point. I've been playing video games since the age of 2. So I had no idea what Pokemon was, but my aunt had just gotten me a Game Boy Pocket a few months earlier. Out of the blue, just got me a Game Boy Pocket, me and my brothers. And I was playing other games. I played a lot of Tetris on my Game Boy back then as well. But I played Pokemon. I played it for the first time. I remember the first starter I got was Squirtle. I actually love, Squirtle is the part of the reason why I love turtles so much as well. I had a couple pet turtles growing up. I picked Squirtle, and the rest is history from there. I hadn't really been into RPGs at that point, but Pokemon is actually one of the biggest reasons why I do enjoy RPGs, specifically turn-based stuff. So it's just something, I mean, if you were around at that time when Pokemon first came to the States, then you already know the craze behind it. Even still today, Pokemon is massive all over the world. And that's just something it's ingrained in my memory. Pokemon Red is what just kind of pulled me into the world of gaming, and I've just been so much about it since. Okay, our next question is from Scrabble Screamer Chaotix. Okay, serious question. How do you not go stir crazy working from home all the time? Triple question mark. Okay, so working from home is something I started before there was a pandemic. That's been going on a couple years now, but I had already started full-time streaming by the time that started up. So back when I first left my factory job to do full-time streaming, I established a rule that I wasn't allowed to work on anything at all away from my desk. Where I am right now, where I'm recording this right now, is my work area. And once I walk away from this work area into any other room of the house, work mode is off. That's something that goes along with one of the questions we answered earlier, work-life balance. This is one of the rules I had to set with that. If I'm not at this desk, I'm not working. I'm not allowed to use my smartphone for work. I'm not allowed to use a laptop for work. I'm not allowed to do any work anywhere except here in this space. That has been the biggest key. And obviously going on things like walks, going out for groceries, during pandemic times, it's been really difficult to say going out to like restaurants or a movie theater or anything like that. Not that I've ever been big on that type of stuff anyway. I can count the amount of times I've gone to a movie theater on my fingers. I'm just not really big on that. But all the same, going on walks just to get fresh air, getting outside of the house, changing the scenery, even just going on a simple drive, just going on a drive for like 10 to 20 minutes, just to kind of get away from the house and then coming back has helped me immensely many times. And yeah, that's pretty much the rule of the land. If I'm away from the desk, there is no work going on, and that's that. And that has helped me not only keep my mental together, but it's helped me kind of help my work-life balance a lot as well. Okay, so we have Mo the General. He says, "Hi Josh." Hi. 4 questions here, it looks like. 1, what is your age? I'm currently 34. Yeah, you can see the grays in my beard. I'm 34. That's a thing. Where are you from? I grew up in New York. Not New York City, but upstate New York. This might be a weird term for people that do not live in the Northeast or northeast of the United States or within the United States in general. However, what that means is basically anywhere that is not in New York City, anywhere from the upper part of the state, anywhere that's northwest of New York City. How long have you been on YouTube? My channel on YouTube has been around for a while. I think I made this YouTube channel back in 2015, maybe, if I remember right. However, I have only actively made YouTube videos on a serious level for 9 months. And if you had a nickname, question 4, if you had a nickname, what is it? I've always gone by Josh. Some people used to call me by my last name back when I was in school. Not really a thing I go by anymore. And then I'm a short guy, so I was always called like shorty, stuff like that. But I don't take offense to it. I've always just been called Josh or Joshy. He says, best of luck towards the 1 million. Thank you, Mo. Oh, Mo has more questions, actually. Hold on. Some other questions. He goes, what kind of games will you start playing on the channel? I enjoy a ton of different games. I think the only type of games that you will not see on my channel here will be like sports games. And even then, it might happen because I do enjoy hockey. Hockey is the only sport that I do enjoy. But even then, I haven't played a hockey video game since like 2012 or something. That was the last time I bought an NHL hockey game. So as much as I do enjoy hockey, I'm not big on sports video games. Just never really been my thing. And then his other question here is, are you playing games like LOL, League of Legends? I love League of Legends, actually. I haven't played it a lot recently. The last time I played it actively for more than a month, I would say, was back in... When was season 3? When was season 3 of League of Legends? I want to say like 2011, 2012, maybe 13. I don't really know. It's been around a decade since I've actively played League of Legends, but I do enjoy it all the same. I do go back to it every once in a while to play a few games of ARAM, and then I'll go hit Summoner's Rift sometimes. I'll give you a few of my favorite champions. I'm a big fan of Vel'Koz. I enjoy Vel'Koz quite a bit. I also enjoy Malzahar and Fizz. Those are like my 3 mains when I do actively play the game. Our next question is from Scarecrow. When did you start out and with what game? If you're talking about streaming, the first game I ever streamed was actually Evolve. Evolve was a game where one person played a monster, and then you had 4 people that had to hunt down the monster, and the monster's job was either to kill off the hunters or escape. I think, if I remember right, they could have the option of escaping the map as well. That was the first game that I streamed for a few days, and then from there I played a lot of Battlefield. I played a lot of Battlefield Hardline, Battlefield 4, and then after Battlefield 1 came out, I played a ton of Battlefield 1. And that's actually the game that I was actively playing on Twitch when I got my partner badge on Twitch. All right, our next question is from Seriously Nas. Who is your favorite fictional cosmic entity? Okay, so for those that don't know, my channel name on Twitch is Necro, short for Necromancer. The reason I say that here is because the answer is Cthulhu, our Eldritch Overlord. Nas has known me for a while, so he had to get in that, that cheeky question, just so everyone knows the correlation to my Twitch name. Okay, our next question is from Augustin. Do you have a Twitch channel? Yes, I do. Just like I said a moment ago, you can find me at twitch.tv/Necro. That's Necro. I stream 5 days a week from Saturday to Wednesday, starting at about 4 p.m. EST. I often play video games. For a while, it was exclusively multiplayer games, but now I play whatever I feel like playing. I've played multiplayer games like Battlefield. I played Warzone for a while. I played PUBG. I was big into Escape from Tarkov. I love me some Escape from Tarkov. But recently, I've been playing a lot of single-player games. Currently making our way through Dying Light 2. We've played some Sifu. What else? I played God of War on PC, beat that in the hardest difficulty, including all the Valkyries, and man, that was a challenge, and I loved it. It was so good. But anyways, we have a wonderful community over there, and if you would like to join us sometime, go on over there, hit the follow button. Our next question is from Moises. He says, keep it up, bro. I'm new to your channel for the Last Stand Aftermath, like so many others. Maybe it's good that you do Halo Infinite gameplay, Fallout, maybe Counter-Strike. Thanks for the good series. Welcome to the channel, Moses. I'm glad you enjoyed the Last Stand Aftermath series on my channel. I enjoyed playing that game a lot. That game was kind of a surprise how much I enjoyed that. That was really great. As far as the games you mentioned, though, like Halo Infinite and Counter-Strike, you probably won't see me play. Maybe the Infinite single-player portion campaign, maybe someday. But as far as Fallout is something, in the future when there's new Fallouts, I will absolutely play. I wasn't big on Fallout 76, but I did enjoy everything else Fallout all the way back to the very beginning, excluding Fallout Tactics. I didn't really like Fallout Tactics, but The rest of the franchise I enjoy a lot. 3 specifically was my favorite Fallout. So I am looking forward to new Fallout games in the future. As far as other games you can find on my channel coming up in the near future here, I've been playing a lot of Sifu, Dying Light, like I mentioned as well. I'm looking forward to Elden Ring. We have, I played the Triangle Strategy prologue demo. That was a great experience. Looking forward to more of that. I'll probably be playing more War Tales when they update that game. And then we have things like Horizon Forbidden West, Elden Ring, some indie titles like Tunic and Have a Nice Death. And then there's more games in the future that I will be covering, like Forspoken, Starfield, Stalker 2. There's so many good games scheduled for this year, and I plan on playing every single one of them. We have more questions from Moises here. They are in Spanish. He says his English is poor, so he's going to write them in Spanish, and then Augustin actually translated them for him, and I appreciate that. Thank you, Augustin. My age is 34. And have you ever thought about recording yourself in videos? So as you guys know, watching on YouTube, I haven't really put myself in a whole lot, like my camera, in a whole lot of my like Let's Play walkthrough stuff. That's something that as far as recording goes, I always just kind of like to change it up. Sometimes I'll have it on, sometimes I'll have it off. Obviously we have it on right now, and I've been streaming more over on YouTube as well lately, and I always have my camera on for that now. So, you know, you'll be seeing me a lot more in that regard. What are your other hobbies apart from playing video games? I like to read. I'm a big sci-fi junkie. I enjoy reading sci-fi stuff a lot. I love the idea of taking reality and twisting it in a way with technology specifically that just kind of changes your perspective on things. Obviously it's all fiction, so, you know, science fiction. Some of my favorite books are the Foundation series by Isaac Asimov. I enjoy the Hyperion Canthos by Dan Simmons, and of course I do enjoy the Dune series as well. Those are all very, very top-notch reads, and if you haven't read those, if you enjoy reading, specifically sci-fi, yeah, I mean, I'm sure you've heard of all these things already, but you got to go check them out. They're great. And our last question here, do you speak any other language? I used to. I know this sounds weird. I took French for 7 years in school. I started learning French in middle school. And the reason I learned French is because I grew up in New York. And where I grew up in New York, you would run into more French-speaking people from French Canada, you know, Quebec, traveling down through New York than you would actually run into anyone that spoke Spanish. Now, granted, I took 7 years of French, and I haven't actively practiced it since I left school. The last time I spoke a single full sentence of French outside of fooling around, just kind of randomly saying it, like having a full conversation in French, was when I was 19, which was in 2007. So I used to speak a second language. I was pretty good at it. I was pretty fluid, but now I would love to take refresher courses. Maybe that's something I'll do in the future, just kind of, you know, pick back up on it. But as of right now, I could not say a single sentence in French if I wanted to, unfortunately. And that's what happens when you don't keep up with language. But okay, guys, thank you so much for your questions. I think we'll do this again in the future, maybe at 5,000 subscribers, perhaps, whenever we get to that milestone, if/when. We'll have more, you guys submit more questions. I apologize for taking so long to put this out. This is something I planned on doing back in December. We're now in early February. So like I said, life got ahead of me. Things got out of hand for a while, but we are here now. We've done it, and I would like to do it again sometime in the future. But with that said, I'm out of here for now, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for liking the video, sharing it with your friends. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video, got to know me a little bit more on a personal level. And of course, I'm looking forward to seeing you more on my videos and my streams, both on Twitch and YouTube. I do stream more on YouTube now as well, and I'm going to keep things going on YouTube. I've been really enjoying the YouTube experience a lot lately. So expect to see me playing a lot of single player games here on YouTube, both live and for videos. Sound good? Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.